My name is Camila, and according to my mother-in-law, I married her son for money. That's the story she tells everyone. At church, she whispers that I'm a gold digger. At family dinners, she jokes that I hit the jackpot. On social media, she posts about fake women who only care about what's in a man's wallet. And somehow, everyone knew she was talking about me, without her ever saying my name. I stayed quiet for a long time. I swallowed the disrespect, the eye rolls, the fake smiles. Until one day, we ended up in a lawyer's office, and he read out loud who had actually been paying for her house all these years. Spoiler, it wasn't her, and it wasn't her son. This is the story of how my mother-in-law spent years calling me a gold digger pal while living under a roof I was secretly helping pay for. I met my husband, Lucas, at work. We were both in our late 20s, working at the same company, different departments. He was the nice guy everyone liked, helpful, funny, a little shy. When we started dating, I knew he was close to his family. He called his mom every day, helped his younger sister with homework, drove his grandmother to appointments. I liked that about him. Coming from a family where everyone was scattered and busy, it was sweet to see someone so involved. The first time I met his mother, Dona Marta, she greeted me with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "So," she said, looking me up and down, "you work with my son?" "Yes, ma'am," I answered. "Same company, different department." She nodded slowly. "A woman with a job," she said. "That's good. These days, you never know who's with a man for love or for convenience." I laughed awkwardly, not sure if it was a joke. Later, Lucas told me, "She's just old-fashioned, don't take it personally." But from the beginning, it felt personal. Whenever we went to her house for Sunday lunch, she'd ask questions that sounded innocent, but were loaded. "How much do you make at your job? Do your parents help you financially? Are you used to nice things?" If I complimented something in her house, a picture frame, a vase, she'd say, "Well, we bought that before these modern couples who can't afford anything without loans." Lucas would roll his eyes behind her back, but he rarely confronted her. "That's just how she is," he'd say. "She talks like that to everyone." Except she didn't talk like that to everyone. She didn't talk like that to his ex. One day, by accident, I overheard her on the phone with a friend while I was in the kitchen. "Oh, Lucas's ex. She was a good girl," she said. "Came from a simple family, but never made him spend too much." When she noticed me at the doorway, she smiled and changed the subject. I pretended not to hear, but it stayed with me. When Lucas and I got engaged, the comments got worse. At a family party, in front of everyone, she raised her glass and said, "To Lucas, my hardworking son. May he always remember that real love is about support, not about bank accounts, and may he never be blinded by appearances." People laughed. Some looked at me with that curious tilt of the head like they were waiting to see my reaction. I smiled tightly and took a sip of my drink, my face burning. In the car on the way home, I finally snapped. "Do you not hear the things she says?" I asked Lucas. "Blinded by appearances? Bank accounts? She's talking about me," he sighed. "I know she can be harsh," he said. "But she grew up poor. Money traumatized her. She's afraid someone will take advantage of me." I stared at him. "And what about me?" I asked. "Who protects me when she's attacking my character every chance she gets?" He didn't have a good answer. Still, I loved him. I wanted our marriage more than I wanted to win an argument with his mother. We got married in a small ceremony. My parents helped with some expenses. We paid the rest ourselves. After the wedding, we moved into a tiny rented apartment. It wasn't fancy, but it was ours. At least, that's what I thought. A few months later, Lucas came home looking stressed. "We need to talk," he said. My stomach dropped. "About what?" He sat at the table and put his head in his hands. "It's about my mom's house," he said. "She's behind on the mortgage again." I frowned. "Again?" He nodded. "She's always had trouble managing money. My dad used to handle everything. After he died, she refinanced the house to help my sister with school, then took out a loan to fix the roof, then," he sighed. "Long story short, she's drowning. If she misses more payments, the bank could take the house." I felt a mix of sympathy and frustration. "What can we do?" I asked. He looked at me. "I was thinking maybe we could help with some of the payments," he said. "Just until she gets back on her feet." I blinked. "Lucas, We're barely comfortable ourselves, I said. My salary, your salary, the rent, the car, groceries. We don't have a lot of extra. He nodded. I know. I'm not asking you to pay everything. I can't watch her lose the house I grew up in. She's not good with money, but she's still my mom. I thought about all the times she had made me feel small. All the comments, the digs, the assumptions. I also thought about what it would mean for him to see his mother homeless or forced into a tiny apartment she hated. I'll help, I said finally. But I want transparency. I want to know how much, for how long, and I want it in our budget. His eyes softened. Thank you, he said. You won't regret this. We sat down with numbers. The mortgage was more than we could comfortably cover, but we could send a fixed amount every month. We rearranged our budget, cut back on eating out, delayed some plans. Every month, without fail, we transferred money to help with her mortgage. My name wasn't on the house. Her name and Lucas's late father's name were. On paper, I had no claim. In reality, a chunk of my salary was keeping that house standing. We did this quietly. We didn't post about it. We didn't tell the extended family. I assumed, naively, that at least she knew. One day, I went with Lucas to drop off some paperwork. She made us coffee, sat across from us at the table, and said casually, You know, Lucas, you'd have so much more freedom if you didn't have to support a wife so early. Marriage is expensive. I choked on my coffee. Excuse me, I said. She smiled sweetly. I'm just saying, she continued, men, your age are usually focused on building themselves up, not carrying extra weight. But you always liked to play hero, didn't you? Lucas shifted uncomfortably. Mon, that's enough, he said. Camila works. She contributes. She looked at him, not at me. Yes, she said. A little help here and there, but we both know who really built your life. I felt tears stinging behind my eyes. A little help here and there. I wanted to scream that her electricity, her water, her roof were partially being paid by the woman she kept calling extra weight. Instead, I stood up and said, I'm going to use the bathroom. In the hallway, I leaned against the wall and took deep breaths. When we got home, I finally told Lucas, I don't want to keep paying unless she knows. I'm not asking for applause, but I can't be insulted and invisible at the same time. He hesitated. She has pride, he said. If she knew you were helping, she'd feel humiliated. It's better this way. Better for who? I asked. For her ego? Because it's certainly not better for my dignity. We argued. He said we should be bigger than her pettiness. I said there's a difference between being kind and being a doormat. In the end, we made a compromise. We'd keep helping, but I would have a say in when it stopped. And if she crossed a certain line, I'd be done. I didn't realize how quickly that line would be crossed. A year later, things escalated. There was a misunderstanding about a holiday. My family invited us to spend Christmas with them out of town. We had told his mother months before that we'd alternate 1 year with my family, 1 year with hers. This was our first Christmas with my side. 2 weeks before, she called Lucas in tears. How can you abandon your own mother on Christmas? She wailed. You've changed since you married her. She only cares about her own people. He tried to explain. She wouldn't listen. On Christmas Eve, she posted a message on social media. Some people only care about money and status, not about real family. They forget who raised their husbands, who sacrificed, who built the house they now look down on. Gold diggers always reveal themselves in the end, the comments poured in. Stay strong, Marta. Some daughters-in-law are like that, just using our sons. God sees everything. I saw it. My sister saw it. Even people from my job saw it. We had some mutuals. I felt humiliated. That night, after we put our phones away, I told Lucas, I'm done. Done with what? He asked. With paying for someone who publicly calls me a gold digger, I said. She's biting the hand that literally helps pay her bills. He rubbed his face. I'll talk to her, he said. She doesn't understand what she's doing. But he never fully confronted her. He defended me in private gently, then downplayed it. She's just emotional. She didn't say your name. She didn't need to. A few months later, the situation exploded in a way I didn't expect. We got a letter from the bank. The mortgage was in serious default. The house was at risk. I was confused. We've been paying our part every month, I said. Lucas looked just as confused. He dug deeper and found out his mother had stopped paying her portion entirely. She had used her money for other things, helping a cousin, buying new furniture, taking a trip with her church group. Our contributions had become the only consistent payments. Now it wasn't enough. The bank had started foreclosure proceedings. Panic broke out. His sister called, crying. His mother called, outraged. "This is your fault," she said to Lucas. "You're the man of the family now. You should have taken full responsibility for this house. Your father would be ashamed." He snapped for once. "Ma and Camila and I have been helping for over a year." "You're the one who stopped paying," she gasped. "You told her?" she screamed. "You're involving your wife in our family finances now?" He hung up. "We knew we needed help. We booked a meeting with a lawyer to see what could be done." His mother came too, dramatic as ever, clutching tissues. In that office, the truth finally stepped into the light. The lawyer, Mr. Almeida, was calm and methodical. He spread the documents on the table. "Let's go through this step by step," he said. He showed the original mortgage, the refinancing, the last payments. "We have records here," he said, "of regular transfers from this account." He pointed to a printout with our joint account details. "These payments have been coming from Camila and Lucas for the last 18 months. His mother sniffed. "Small help," she said. "Symbolic. I've been carrying this house on my back for years." The lawyer didn't argue. He simply continued. "Before those transfers," he said, "there were irregular payments from your account, Dona Marta. Some months yes, some months no. Then there is a period with no payments from you at all." He slid the papers closer to her. "From that point on," he said, "the only consistent payments came from your son and his wife." I watched her face. She paled, then flushed. "You're making it sound like I'm irresponsible," she said. The lawyer remained professional. "I'm describing the numbers," he said. "The bank doesn't care about intention, only about payments. And right now, if nothing changes, they will move forward with foreclosure." She turned to Lucas, ignoring me. "You see," she said. "This is why you never mix wives into family business. Look how exposed I am now. I told you not to put her name on anything." Something in me snapped. I had sat through years of comments, years of disrespect, months of paying her mortgage. I was done being invisible. I spoke clearly, looking at the lawyer so it would all be in the record. "With all due respect," I said, "I have been sending money from my salary every month to help with this house. When we got married, your son and I became a family. My money is part of that. I am not here to take anything from you. I'm here because I've already given, silently, for a long time." The lawyer nodded slowly. "That is clear from the bank statements," he said. "Legally, the house is in your name, Dona Marta. Financially, it has been partially sustained by them." He looked at her and added, "And I would be careful about how you talk about your daughter-in-law in public. If someone who pays a mortgage is a gold digger, I'm not sure what word we use for someone who accepts the help and then insults her." The room went quiet. She opened her mouth, then closed it. I saw something flicker in her eyes. Shame, maybe? Or just anger at being called out. She muttered, "I never asked her for anything." Lucas finally spoke up. "No," he said. "You asked me, and I asked my wife, and she said yes. She could have kept her money for herself. She could have refused. But she helped, because she loves me. Because she loves this family, even when you don't love her back." He turned to me. "I'm sorry," he said in front of everyone. "I should have defended you more. I let her call you names while you were paying her bills." The lawyer cleared his throat. "Let's focus on the solution," he said. "If you all want to try to save the house, you'll need a strict agreement. Who pays what and what happens if they don't?" He drafted a plan. It involved us paying a smaller, fixed amount, his mother paying her portion on time. If she failed again, we would pull out. We signed. She hesitated, but the fear of losing the house was stronger than her pride. After the meeting, in the hallway, she approached me. For the first time, she looked less sure of herself. "I didn't know you were giving so much," she said quietly. I looked at her. "I know," I answered. "That's the problem," she swallowed. "I just don't want my son to be used," she said. "I saw women do that to my brothers. They showed up when things were good and disappeared when things were hard. I nodded. I've been here in the hard part, I said. I've been here with spreadsheets and sacrifices and canceled vacations. If that still looks like using to you, that's your blindness, not my intention. She didn't apologize. People like her rarely do. But she never called me a gold digger again. At least not in public. Family dinners became quieter, less performative. She still made little digs sometimes, but they lost their power. Because now I knew, and she knew I knew, exactly who had really helped build that house she was so proud of. Today, when I sit on my own couch in our own apartment, I feel something I didn't feel for a long time in that situation. Peace. Not because she changed, but because I stopped needing her to define me. I know what I contributed. Lucas knows. The bank knows. The lawyer definitely knows. And when our future kids ask us one day about family, support, and money, I'll tell them this. Generosity is beautiful. Helping family is beautiful. But don't let anyone rewrite your generosity as greed just because they're uncomfortable with how much they depend on you. If someone calls you a gold digger while living under a roof your effort helped pay for, remember, receipts are louder than rumors. You don't have to scream your worth. Sometimes you just have to let the numbers and the lawyers speak for you. And if you like real stories like this, about messy families, hidden truths, and women who find their voice, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.